What is going on, guys? This is Ben here, bringing another Brawl Stars video. Hopefully you all are doing well. Today, we are going to be going over the new balance changes that will be coming in the next update. So, these will be going live in the update, and if they are announcing these right now, I assume we are going to be getting the update very, very soon. So, hopefully you guys are excited. Definitely leave a like if you guys are, and subscribe to the channel for any update news. You will see it here first, and if we have sneak peeks and everything, which I think we will. So, hopefully you guys are excited, and let's get into this. So, the first brawler that is getting a change is Nita. So Nita's star power healing is up from 300 damage to 400 damage. So not a huge change. Her star power still is on the lower end, but hey, it's a little bit better. Her bear is going to be healed by 400. Herself is going to be healed by 400. So overall, just going to increase her ability when she has the star power. But other than that, that's the only change she has. The next up is Brock. So Brock has one of the worst star powers as well. You're going to notice there's a lot of star powers changing here. So Brock's star power is increased star power damage per second from 240 to 300. So now that fire is actually going to hurt a little bit more, which is nice. It's a 60 damage HP, but it'll make it a little bit less easy just to walk through that fire. So that's good. So that's Brock's change. Now for Bo, we have some big changes here. I'm excited that they went this route. This is what I was calling for basically since the beginning here. So Bo's star power is getting decreased. It was 6 tiles of that viewing range, and they're decreasing that to 4 tiles, which is awesome because I feel like 6 is way too much. Giving that little extra 2 tiles with 4 is going to be well enough, and then he's not going to be just like the go-to brawler in all of these maps that have like a lot of grass and everything. And then he's also, in return for that, they're shifting Bo away from being this dominant brawler once you get a star power to being an okay brawler, hopefully all the time. You don't necessarily need the star power, but increase his main attack damage from 420 to 480. So a lot more damage per bullet. That's going to be really, really nice. He's going to be able to do more damage and not be so reliant on that star power and vision. So El Primo is also getting his star power buffed. Increase the star power damage from 600 to 800. So that fire is going to be a little bit more damage. That's the only change to him, which is nice. Next up is Barley. He's getting a really big changes here, and I feel like overall it's a nerf, even though a lot of them are buffs in some ways. So increased his star power healing from 200 to 300. So that's okay. A little bit better. Gonna make him sustain more. Increased his main attack damage per second from 600 to 640. So he's gonna hurt a little bit more every time you deal a little bit of damage on those throws and everything. His increased his super damage per second from 480 to 640. So that's standard now. Basically whenever you're in a splash puddle of the Barley, it's going to deal 640. But when throwing the super close to Barley, the spread of the bottle is now much larger. So before you could kind of manipulate it if you wanted it to be like a wide range or a short range for a super. But get this. Super's different bottles do not stack anymore. This means you can no longer do like insane amount of damage up close unless they're standing in the fire and walking all through these different bottles. So the bottles are no longer going to stack if they are right on top of each other. They're only going to take damage from one of those bottles. So if they're standing in the same one, it's still going to be like 640 damage. And then they're in it for another second, 640 more damage. It's not going to stack unless they keep walking through it over and staying it longer. So no more just insane amount of damage, burst damage up close. No more insane heist damage on the safe. So that's a pretty big nerf to Barley overall, but basically it makes him better for sustain and throwing and just more consistent stuff of damage overall, I guess. Poco, they increased his star power healing from 400 to 500. So his star power is going to keep your brawlers alive a little bit more. Daryl, they increased his star power shield protection. It was 30%, now it is 40%. So he's gonna, once you get that star power, he's gonna be able to survive a lot more. And then they increased his main attack damage per shell from 260 to 280. So he's gonna do a lot more damage up close. Well, not a lot, but you're gonna feel it. You're gonna do a little bit more damage up close. And if you have the star power, you're gonna be able to survive and take a lot more damage and everything, which is nice. So I don't know. I feel like a lot of people think Daryl's not very good, but I think you just need to learn how to play him a little bit more. And with these changes, it'll make him feel it'll be basically more easy to use, which is nice. So for Tara or Tara, whatever one you want to use, they increased her star power as well. Basically, they increased her star power pet damage from 200 to 400. That the pet is basically the shadow clone that spawns when you have the star power, and it's gonna deal more damage now, so you actually have to worry about it. And then they increased its health from 2,000 to 2,400, so it's not gonna die instantly anymore. It's still gonna be easy to kill, but still, it's gonna be annoying to have to deal with it. So that made Tara's super even better, especially if you have the star power. Leon, they decreased the super invisibility time from 10 seconds to 8 seconds. Personally, I would have loved to see them drop it down to like 5 or 6 seconds and take away that indication that you're 4 tiles away from him, but still a nerf to the super by 2 seconds, which I still think it's going to be very good. Overall, I still think Leon is going to be a very good brawler. So they decreased his main attack damage from 500 to 460 at close range. So the long range is still going to be the same, it's just that close range. I still think he's going to be very good. If you have the star power, you're still going to cruise around the map in 8 seconds. You're still going to do a ton of damage up close. Maybe not as much, but you're still going to be able to melt. He just won't be as overpowering. So Mortis, they changed as well. They increased his main attack and super damage from 800 to 900, which I like because he felt kind of lackluster when you do his dashes and everything. Keep in mind, they seem to be at level 1 brawlers. The star power no longer leaves a green skull. Instead, when Mortis defeats a brawler, he instantly gains 1,800 health. No more green skulls stacking on the map, so that might hurt his late game when after a lot of people die and stuff, where there's a ton of like skulls on the map and everything, which is okay. As long as you get that kill, you're gonna get that damage instantly, or that revive instantly, which is kind of a nerf to him, because if say someone dies, they're no longer just gonna have free health for you on the board, which was a good thing for a star power. But now you just kill someone, you get health back. That's a nerf, but hey, he does more damage for a super and a main attack, so we'll have to see on that one. I'm unsure on that one just yet. Frank, it seems like they don't want skulls anymore. So Frank, his star power no longer leaves a purple skull. Instead, when Frank defeats a brawler, he instantly gains a buff for that increased damage by 40% for 10 seconds. Same kind of thing with Mortis, where it's no longer benefiting like your teammates getting kills and having skulls dropped on the map for you to pick up. It's when you, the brawler, get kills, which I'm okay with actually. With Frank, I think it makes a little bit more sense because sometimes you had to put yourself in harm's way just to go get a skull to get that in range. But now, like, as soon as you get a kill, you're in rage, which I'm okay with. And then they buffed Rico as well. He got an indirect nerf with the map sizes when it went global, which is nice. So they increased the main attack damage for him from 280 to 300. He's still gonna be good, or he's gonna be better now. He's gonna hit a lot harder. That's a pretty big buff. So I think Rico is definitely gonna be pretty solid now. But overall, I'm happy with the changes. The only ones that I would have liked to see is Pam reverted her health HP buff from the last balance changes. So a Pam HP nerf, I would like to see that, and I would love to see a Bull HP nerf. The same thing with Pam, is like they buffed those 2 HPs in the last balance update, and they're 2 of the best characters right now, especially early on for Bull. As you get higher up in trophies, like the shotgunners and melee brawlers aren't as difficult to deal with, but still, I feel like I would have liked to see those 2 HPs reverted back to what they were before, but that's just me. So those are the main brawler changes. So now there's also some changes to Brawl Ball and some showdown changes and stuff like that. So Brawl Ball, brawlers now spawn inside the goal. They no longer spawn behind it. And then kicking the ball without super now consumes ammo. So what I think is, like, anytime you kick a ball, it's gonna consume some of your ammo. And if you use the super, I think it's still gonna use the super as well, like it always has. So throwing the ball, now gonna take that ammo. So that's a big change, because now to throw the ball to the enemy to make them have the ball, you lose a shot, which could be interesting. And then if you keep passing it back and forth, you know, some people auto aim when you're up close to each other and the ball just keeps going back and forth, all of you are gonna have no ammo at that time. So, and then this hurts Mortis as well, because Mortis's dashes aren't gonna be as effective when he's holding the ball. I mean, he's gonna be limited to his movement for when he's dribbling. So we'll see how that changes. I'm okay with that. Showdown, the players' names are now empty instead of the question mark at over 300 trophies matchmaking score. So at 300, no one's gonna have names. Poison doesn't deal damage instantly when it spawns or grows. So we'll have to wait and see on this one. So the poison, like, instantly before it would spawn, if you were in the grass, you take damage. So maybe it gives you a little bit of time to get out of the grass or get out of the poison before it starts dealing damage to you. This is a pretty big change too, because Bounty felt really long. So Bounty's game mode length is reduced from 2 minutes and 30 seconds to 2 minutes. So 30 seconds off. It's gonna make it quicker. The matches are gonna feel a lot more faster, or just a lot faster, and I'm gonna like that. The raid boss now shows the next boss rage stage, or when the next boss rage stage is triggered. So it's no longer like, oh, you're guessing, which is nice. We just need more boss fight. And then they added one more stage shown in game with difficulty you are playing, or they added one more stage and then they shown in game the difficulty that you're playing on. And then this is probably the biggest change ever. The biggest change in this balance update here, though. In every single game mode, you guys know how there was either green grass or there was yellow grass. The yellow grass wouldn't regrow, the green grass would regrow. That is no longer the case. Now, once grass is destroyed, it is no longer respawning. Before, after 35 seconds, the green grass would respawn. Now, in all modes, green bushes no longer grow back after 35 seconds. So, anytime grass is taken out, it ain't coming back. So that is actually pretty big news for like the gem grab maps and everything. This is a huge buff to like Brock, Piper, basically any of the long range brawlers really, because those maps that have a lot of grass on the sides, the shotgun brawlers just could overrun everything. And this is really gonna hurt, I think, Shelly a lot, because once Shelly uses her super, it opens up a lot of the grass, you know, and she can no longer just wait for it to go back and rewalk through it. So this is gonna be a huge shift in meta, especially early on when a lot of the shotgunners are prevalent. It's gonna reduce a lot of the bush camping, and I'm really excited for this change. I think it's gonna be a good thing. Obviously, it's gonna take a lot of adjusting to, not waiting for that grass to respawn. And supers that destroy grass now are gonna be very valuable, and I think this is gonna be a huge buff for range brawlers, which is nice. So I'm excited for the changes. Let me know your thoughts. Like I said, I think the biggest game-changing change that we had is the change to the grass. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts. Stay tuned for the update. Subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.